Laptop HDMI to DVI monitor, not working, no signal. I have a laptop, Dell Inspiron 7537, with an HDMI output and I would like to connect it to a monitor, Samsung PPM42S3Q, which has only VGA and DVI input. I bought a DVI to HDMI adapter, HDMI female DVI male, but when I connect laptop to monitor I always get no signal. That means cable is connected but no signal is sent or recognized by monitor. First, I suppose cable wasn't working, so I connect my laptop to another monitor, more modern than the Samsung, with the same configuration and everything works like a charm. After I figure out that cable was working, I connect my PC desktop to the Samsung monitor with the same configuration, and everything is working. I suppose it was a graphic card issue. My laptop has an Intel integrated graphic card and an NVIDIA GeForce GT 750M. I tried to enable one and disable the other and vice versa, but in the end I got always the same result, no signal. Could anyone please suggest another configuration, or tell me if it's possible to get this configuration working?
Connecting HDMI output to DVI input is not straightforward due to HDMI carrying an HDCP protected signal. Monitors that don't have an HDMI port are not HDCP compliant, hence can't display an HDCP protected digital signal. As a legal workaround, you can try an HDMI splitter. Those often strip HDCP from the signal, so it can be subsequently converted to DVI.
Answer. I've experimented with this, and it seems that HDMI to DVI cables just don't work properly with laptops. However, using a regular DVI cable with an HDMI adapter at the laptop end does work. I would guess that there could be truth that there is an issue with HDCP not being translated. That seems most likely. I originally had one of those cheap plastic block adapter things, but it's too wide and blocks the USB port next to the HDMI port, so I'm buying an adapter with 20 centimeters, also cable attached, like this URL.
So based on the comments to the question, I think we have narrowed it down to the HDMI to DVI adapter. The monitor is not detecting a signal from the computer because the computer is not detecting that there is a monitor plugged in. I'm not an electrical expert, but when a VGA or DVI cable is plugged in at both ends, it appears to complete a circuit, resulting in the display showing that the cable is plugged in. In this case, this is why the monitor is showing no signal but is detecting a cable plugged in. The no signal is representing the fact that there is no data being sent between the monitor and the computer. For reasons unknown, the monitor doesn't seem to like the adapter. What I would suggest: if you are able to get a different adapter, I would try that first. It may just be an issue with the brand of adapter you are using. Possibly try a different conversion. If you are able to adapt to VGA, see if you can get your hands on a HDMI to VGA. Look into a converter rather than an adapter. An adapter, the way I understand, just adapts the plug to the needed port, whereas a converter actually converts the signal as well as the port.
I had the same problem with an Dell U2311H monitor. HDMI only is not working, but surprisingly it worked when I linked the monitor with an extra USB cable to use the USB ports of the monitor as USB hub for the keyboard and mouse.
I have a Toshiba P50 with VGA and HDMI outputs. I have two HP 241i monitors, which will do 1920 by 1200, as well as the P50 display, which will do 1920 by 1080. The HP monitors don't have HDMI inputs, only VGA, DP, and DVI-D. The P50 drives the VGA input at 1920 by 1200 on HP monitor 1 and the DVI input at 1920 by 1200 on HP monitor 2 via a $10 passive HDMI to DVI adapter, which as far as I am aware does nothing more than pin reassignment.
If you want to support the channel, please consider liking and subscribing.